Okay, we are live. Welcome to the stream. Um, Let me get the overlay up. As per usual, you know the deal. Welcome to the stream. Obviously, the win streak is now over, but there's an opportunity to bounce back. We have a game against the Pels. It is on national TV for the world to see. No injuries, which is awesome. Um, Obviously, we've been missing a few players, on and off the last couple of games, but everyone is back and fully fit. So hopefully, we can function at an optimal level today. The starting lineup remains the same. Kevin Durant was on a hot streak in terms of shooting. Royce O'Neal, not so much. Did not make a shot last game. Didn't even score a point. And you could easily point to him for the reason we lost. But ultimately, the game was not reflective of what we've been able to do in the last 12 or so games on that win streak. So, look, we just got to go back to winning ways, get back to the fundamentals we were good at. Seth Curry was excellent the other day. He looked awesome, very, very efficient from the field. But him aside, the bench, the supporting cast was non-existent. Gabriel, hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're doing well. KD is dropping 100 with the high efficiency and a blowout. Well, I hope it's going to be a little bit less taxing on the mental health this game, because last game the referees were not ideal at all, and that really set the tone for the way the game was going to end up. As I said in that stream, excuses cannot be made, but at the same time, the referees weren't great at all, very subpar. I am going to put a link to a form. I've advertised it on the community tab, but I will do so again on the stream so you can be notified of it. The mid-season awards will be a week from now. I'm not sure what time. It will probably be around this time. I'm going to put a link in the chat and pin it. So if you want to give this a look, it'll take 5 or so minutes. It's just a little list of questions. Simply put, you can put in. All the responses will be anonymous, so no one will know, or I won't know who said what. But the more votes, the merrier. Obviously, because we want a larger sample in order to get probably the most accurate, awards, award outcomes. Because obviously, if I have 2 or 3 different awards, or only 2 or 3 people putting in their responses for awards, then it sort of defeats the purpose. So, if you are able to do that, because some of you wanted a little award show, so we're gonna make it happen, but you've also got to manifest. KD is top 3 in MVP combos right now. Yeah, 100% he is. Number 1 in All-Star voting at his position, in terms of the forwards, and Kyrie is number 1 for the guards in the East. I can't even say the word. Which is awesome. And given the amount of shit he's had to combat, that's fairly impressive. Is that tall piece from the same draft as Ben playing for the Pels today? I don't know who you're talking about. I wouldn't be able to actually tell you. I don't know who. I'm pretty awful with recalling drafts, so I wouldn't actually be able to give you an answer on that. Let's have a look at it right now. 2016 draft. Oh, yeah, it's Ingram. I think I just didn't put two and two together because he got drafted by the Lakers. The Pels picked up Hield in that draft at pick 6. He was with the Lakers for a while. Yep. He's not playing. Zion and Ingram are not playing, and I think, well, for the good of this team's prospects, it's a good thing that they're both not playing. But at the same time, you want to be able to gauge how they're, matching up against good opposition like that. So it's a little bit of a letdown that we aren't able to, put both teams side by side. But that said, this game is not going to be delivered on a platter. We have to earn this win because the Pelicans have shown that they are very, very capable of getting the job done despite the absences. So yeah, I mean, we can have a little scroll here and see if any other notable players are out for the Pels. Whoops, where did it go? Yeah, so it's just Zion and Ingram, their best two players, which is awesome. But yeah, we probably, as I said, if we wanted to gauge whether or not this team can match up with an opponent like that, it would have been awesome if they could play. But oh well, is what it is. First quarter's about to start pretty shortly, so we'll get ready to rock and roll. And yeah, as mentioned, actually I should probably do this a little bit differently. I'm gonna switch it around. Vote for mid-season awards here. There we go. And I'll pin that. There we go. Alright. So we are getting ready to load up for this game against the Pels. The Eastern Conference is awfully tight. The top 5 teams are split by 3 games. We are right in the middle. A game and a half from the top, a game and a half from 5th. And we are sitting smack bang in the middle in 3rd position. So, it'll be a good opportunity for us to, just solidify that, that cushioning on the teams that are sort of chasing us at the moment. So that loss wasn't ideal. We would have been, very close from, taking the mantle at the top. But, is what it is. The Pels have won 3 of their last 5. We have won 4 of our last 5. The wins for the Pels coming against Philly, Minnesota, and Houston. They lost to Philly and Memphis. So obviously 2 good opposition, 2 good, opposition teams there. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know what their starting 5 looks like either. No Embiid in the other game. Is he injured? Do you know? I think he is. I think he's been sidelined for a bit. Because he didn't play the most recent game. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the Pelicans starting lineup. Okay, so the starting lineup for the Pels is Valanciunas, Marshall, Murphy, Herb Jones, and McCollum. And look, Valanciunas is probably the most scary one of them all because he is huge. And, he's got... Well, it's going to be a bit for the Nets to contend with in the paint. We saw last game with Vucevic how threatening he was in the paint, that interior presence. And Valanciunas is obviously, a similar build. So Clax and KD are really going to have to, work as, a good partnership in order to get the job done there, because otherwise the game could get away from us pretty early on, like it did the last game. So we'll see how we go. I didn't even realize that the Western Conference Coach of the Month has been announced as the Pelicans head coach, Willie Green. So Fair bloody play to him. So obviously two teams that have, who were led by two pretty knowledgeable men of the sport. So yeah. Alrighty, we're getting ready to kick this one off. To all those who have just joined us, welcome to the stream. Hope you're all doing exceptionally well. Hopefully a win will be on the cards around the grounds before we commence this game. We've got Portland, Indiana. Currently that is basically tied. Philly are up by 9 and Toronto are up by 2. And that is the gist of things. As we mentioned, the starting lineup for the Pels. They are missing Williamson and Ingram, so they will have Najee Marshall, Jonas Valanciunas, CJ McCollum, and then who did I not name? Herb Jones and Trey Murphy. So a lineup that I feel like there's a lot of players on here that could catch fire. The last time we played the Pels, they dropped 130 points. Scored 40 in the third quarter. We scored 14 in the opening quarter. And we're down at the first change by 18. So we don't want to be starting like that in this game. KD in that one had 32. And Patty Mills had 16 off the bench. The only scorer off the bench in double figures. So not an ideal game there. The Pels had 3 players score 20 or more in Ingram, Williamson, and McCollum. And Valanciunas had 15. Trey Murphy had 16 off the bench. So here we go. Big game. Big game. We'll see how we cope. But we've got to start the game. We've got to start the game in a roll. I swear my headphones feel like they've got a bump in them. Oh well. As long as they work. Alrighty, here we go. First quarter about to get underway. Here we go. And look, given they've got the Western Conference Coach of the Month, you would suspect that there's going to be a lot of role players who are going to step up because they've obviously got a pretty sound system in place. So we'll see how we go. First quarter. Oh, whoops. I didn't even realize we have a point. That's on me. Let me just take that back. And we'll see how we go. First quarter, getting ready to get underway. We have obviously mentioned the starting 5 remain the same. To the last game, we have all our players back. There are no injuries. TJ Warren was a question mark. He is going to be playing. And obviously he's going to need to return to some good form because, we lacked any supporting cast impact in the last game. So here we go. Tip-off just about to happen. 12 minutes. Stage is set. Here we go. Valanciunas v. Clax in the jump ball. It is won by Clax, who reacts quicker. And we are underway. And it will be Kyrie Irving with the ball to commence proceedings. Kyrie picks up the dribble. Royce back out of KD. KD will drive, shoot the 2, and he's going to immediately draw a foul, and it will be shots. I do remember last game we played the Pels, Herb Jones, I believe, got into some early foul trouble. I may be mistaken, but look, I think that's going to be the key because they've got a lot of length with this lineup. So, they are well equipped to combat the presence of KD and make his life extremely difficult. But, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. We start things well. And those are the first 2 points on the board. So Ben is picking up McCollum on the outside. McCollum is going to drive on Ben. No, he's not. Excellent defense, Ben. Denied the pass to Valanciunas, who was sitting in the low post. It will be a reset, and it will be on the side for the Pels, who will inbound the ball to Valanciunas in the corner, who will back down Clax. Spin. Clax with the block. And it's going to be... Yep, it's going to be off the Nets. Already a block for Clax. And I mean, he's going to have to do... Well... Oh my god, Valanciunas, trying to be a foul merchant, does not get the whistle. Ben tried to find a pass that wasn't there. And then Marshall never was able to gather a dribble. And it will be a side out. A side out for the Nets. Okay. First time watching the game live and listening to you instead of ESPN. Let's go Nets. Well, bold call. But you know what? I rate that. Thank you for the for me being your first preference with regards to the commentary. KD faces up and missed it. Clax chases up the rebound and Ben will secure. And he's going to try attack. Murphy sent him out of the way. And an easy 2 for Ben. He's going to have to be more aggressive. We are 5-0 when he scores in double figures. So, obviously, it makes a hell of a difference when he is aggressive from the very beginning. McCollum. Clax with the block again. I can't even say words already. And we've literally played for only a minute and a half. Royce back to Ben, who attacks Valanciunas this time. Off the window, he can't get that one to go, but the aggressiveness is there from the get-go. And now Marshall will try drive on Clax. I don't think you want to be doing that already. 2 blocks in 2 minutes. So a bit of stagnancy there, feeding Valanciunas on basically every possession at the moment. Valanciunas picked up his dribble. Clax with the block again! 3 blocks! 2 minutes, and we have a jump ball as well. And Clax has been unbelievable. It's going to be a shot clock violation, actually. I didn't even pay attention to that. Unbelievable defense, Clax. They're blanketing McCollum. Well, yeah, if it's not McCollum, it's Valanciunas. And Valanciunas is being well held at the moment. As we've just said, Clax has already had 3 blocks in 2 minutes. Denied every single opportunity at a shot for the Pelicans. KD's going to receive the ball on the wing, picked up by Marshall. He's going to face up, shoot from the elbow, and miss. Again. So Marshall in response. What are they going to do? They have not been able to get into a rhythm early. Clax is there again. Forces the turnover. Ben across court. Why are you passing there? KD is able to secure it without the ball even going in the backcourt. Ben out to Royce. Ball fake out to Kyrie. He'll send it to Ben, who has the mismatch. He's going to post up McCollum, get into the paint, kick it out. KD for 3. He's missed his first 3 shots, and they've all been in good spots. So, offense ain't really existing here early. And McCollum is going to try attack Kyrie. That's probably his only chance. The kick out to Jones. The touch pass to the corner for Marshall is good. And they are finally on the board. And look, I'm happy to let Marshall shoot 3s, let's be honest. I don't really know of him much as an NBA player, so I can't really give him much credit if I don't know what he can do. Kyrie with the fadeaway 2 on the baseline. And the lead is 6-3. So it's been more of a defensive kind of game early. Marshall going to drive on Clax. And we've got a foul, and it's going to be shots. So the unlikely source of offense early. Clax is going to pick up the foul, and probably a little bit easy to get carried away after you've already had 3 blocks in the entire game. And that could have easily been 4. He had Marshall in a pretty tough area to score from, but a little bit undisciplined there on the shot blocking attempt. So the free throw is good. Clack's going for a triple-double with blocks. Indeed he is. At this rate, he's going to go for about 20 blocks. Surely it would be a NBA history record. Alright. That doesn't even make any sense. Yeah, it would probably be the best in NBA history. I think that's what I was trying to say. Valanciunas got pinged for a offensive interference after the ball was still sitting on the rim. So it won't be any score on the second free throw. It will be a side out for the Nets. And play resumes now. KD's going to get it again. Picked up by Trey Murphy. Good off-ball screen by Clax. Kyrie's three rattles around and goes out. So it's going to be the Pelicans again. McCollum is left wide open. And the three is money. And that was pretty poor defense, I have to be honest. Just a wide open look, and there was still 20 seconds on the shot clock. So we had plenty of time to set up. And unfortunately, Pelicans capitalized on early offense. KD on an island. Going to post up Herb Jones. Shoots the two and misses again. So the defense has been excellent by Herb Jones, making things difficult very, very early. McCollum going to drive. He's forced to roll it back out to the corner. Then takes it in again. Out to Jones on the baseline. Lost the ball, and it's going to be Pels on the side. So KD, I mean, the guy in the last 3 games, according to a graphic on Yes Network, 82% on all 2-point field goals in the last 3 games. He's missed 6 of 34 there. McCollum in the corner from the inbounds. Had Clax in the air. He now drives and kicks to Jones. He's wide open. Poor defense again. And I feel like a timeout could be on the horizon if we, if we have another stunted offensive possession and shit defensive possession. Kyrie's going to drive here. They're playing a bit of zone. Kyrie off the window is well defended, and that is going to go the way of the Pelicans now. Jones fakes on the 3, gets past the closeout. Marshall in the corner, that's well off. The rebound by Jones, and now Trey Murphy is going to reset it. Give it to McCollum. The high screen is set, and now McCollum going to try drive past Royce. It's good defense, and thus the shot is off. Ben to KD, transition 3, and that's off. KD cannot buy a bucket early here, and we've gone a full half quarter with only 6 on the board. Murphy got it. +1. And that was through Ben. We're going to need a timeout, I think. It's a 9-0 run. And early on, the defense was bailing us out of the offense. But right now, the offense is stinking it up. And the defense, well, they're starting to get a few more open looks. Right now, the situation isn't great. KD is not playing well to begin things. The only buckets he has scored or points he has, gotten, all from the free throw line. And if we look at the box score, you will see, well, you won't see it yet. I do this every single game. Look at this, right? So 9-0 run for the Pels. And the reason mainly is because the offense sucks. Defense hasn't been that bad, but KD on national TV, 5 shots, all misses. Kyrie and him have combined for 1 of 8 shooting. And Clax and Royce haven't even put a shot up. Sometimes if those guys aren't getting in a groove, you can, rely on Royce to, hit a 3 or Clax to score a couple easy dunks under the basket, but it hasn't been that easy going early on, and thus we're shooting 2 of 10. It's been equally good defense by the Pels. It's a zone. I don't know if it's a 2-3 or a 3-2 zone, but it's clogging the paint and simultaneously allowing them to close out on the 3-point shooters. So right now they're executing that exceptionally well, and the offense is thriving because of that. They are only, they're 4 of 10, but they've made 3 threes, and that's where the difference is at right now. we left our shooting in San Antonio. Well, even with our shooting being garbage last game, we still scored 112, which isn't awful. Bro upgraded only his mid-range and didn't have enough VC to put any in three-pointers. True, that VC must have had a little bit of a pricing spike. Because, yep, right now the VC shortage is proving to be a little bit costly early on. Ignatius, hope you're doing well, my guy. Just a little bit of a PSA. There is a link pinned in the chat. It is for the mid-season awards. I'll be doing them a week from now. It'll be a live show. And obviously, we need, in order to have an award show that is fan-voted, we need the fans to vote. So, the link is there. Please make sure to do it at some point in this stream if you haven't already. Because, yeah, as many responses as we can, and that'd be awesome, you know, in making the awards seem a little bit more meaningful because of a larger sample. Okay. Let's see what we can do. I probably want a little bit more imagination on the offensive sets, because right now it's not really that inspiring, I would have to say. So we'll see how we go. But Trey Murphy did make the two prior to the timeout, and he will get a free throw, which he knocks down, and the lead is at its highest point in this match. So, as I said, the Western Conference Coach of the Month is the Pelicans coach, and there is a reason why they're playing well at the moment. The system is sound. Royce could not make a three for his life last game. Knocks that one down. That would be good to see from his perspective. Elevate the confidence a little after a down shooting night. McCollum, there's an off-ball screen set for him. He's going to try shoot the step back. It is well blocked off. Clacks with the steal. Surely there's a block or a turnover or a foul or whatever the hell. Clacks, excellent defense. Denied the pass, chased the ball up, and even though he stepped out of bounds with him having touched the ball last, it was a foul prior. Clax has been awesome defensively today. Cannot be understated. 3 blocks, another possession just then to get the ball back. KD now at the elbow. He's going to back down Jones again, shoot the 2, and finally a mid-range gets to go, and he had a fair bit of separation on that one. So he did well to create that. McCollum, going to pass to Valanciunas. The switch on the roll. And unfortunately, it opened the door for Valanciunas to score an easy 2 over the mismatch. KD, it's going to be an offensive foul on Clax. And Jones took a shot, but literally, the referees are so, what's the word? They're so reactive on, you know, hits like that. As soon as someone gets hit and demonstrates that they got hit, it usually goes in the favor of, you know, the guy that, the victim that took the shot. So it will be Pelicans ball, unfortunately. Clax will have to go to the bench. Seth Curry is in the game, so is TJ, and that is the changes for the Nets. Valanciunas the handoff to McCollum. Now to Alvarado, who shoots the 3 and knocks it down. And already Alvarado is picking up Kyrie, so there's going to be a fair bit of difficulty for Kyrie today. He had a pretty tough shooting night the other night. So I think it's fair to say that it's going to be even more difficult tonight because Alvarado was a pest. We've got 2 seconds to shoot. TJ contested 3. That is not it. We get the rebound. Ben behind the back to Kyrie, who shoots and knocks it down. And so the importance of getting an offensive rebound is stressed once again. 18-14 the scoreline, and now it's going to be the Pels with the ball. Alvarado Once again, miscommunication on the 3 point defense / pick and roll defense. They missed it. Kyrie did not shoot the 3 that he had wide open for him. He's going to take it into the paint. Alvarado did well to strip him of the ball. It's going to be a side out. I think that is where Kyrie's going to be at his most productive, efficient levels. If he takes it into the paint and gets to that 10 feet area, because obviously he's getting guarded by Alvarado, and to say that Alvarado's strength is post defense, he's probably not bad at it because he's a good defender, but yeah, I mean, that said, attack it. And Marshall scored another 3 in the corner. The defense has been shithouse in this first quarter. It was good at the start, and Clax brought the energy, but there's been far too many open looks. And KD has had a shocking game. Marshall, Alvarado wide open. Corner for Marshall. What is going on? That's another 3 for Marshall. You have to call a timeout after that. And right now, their role players are absolutely stepping up. I have really nothing else to say. And KD has been awful. KD was exceptional last game. Couldn't be more efficient in a half of basketball. Scored 29. And in this game, he's just had a lot of uncharacteristic missed shots. And it's really staggering how he's missing shots. There's been some shots he's gotten to his spots and hasn't really had any difficulty in getting there. It's not like they're double teaming all of the time. And he's doing the right things to create space. It's just the shots aren't falling at the moment. And on that possession, a turnover, and then, we had a lack of numbers, and the Pelicans were able to find the open man. It's really that simple. It didn't take a genius to work that one out. So currently they've hit 6 threes, and that's really where the difference is, because we've only made 2. Our shooting's been pretty poor. I mean, especially if you compare it to theirs. And Marshall's got 10 points. I mean, I don't know what his career high is for points in a quarter, but you can almost guarantee that he circled the Nets game on the calendar and said there's an opportunity for it to happen right here. Yeah, so right now, KD at 1 of 7. I mean, he's probably not playing like this ever again in the next 20 games. There's been so many opportunities, though, for him to, get on the board. And there's been some good looks in there. He's basically taken the Royce O'Neal gene and, all those misses from last game has really translated over to this game. So, fairly depressing start. We've scored 14. KD has probably been the reason for the offense lacking. But the defense is pretty unexplainable. Just once again, it's really reminiscent of, I don't know what game it was where the defensive rotations were a bit relaxed. It may have very well been last game. And this is a very similar vibe to the first meeting between these sides. We were down 18 a quarter time. We only scored 14 points in the first quarter last time we met this opponent in game 1, and that was with Zion and Ingram. So, I don't know what it's saying about our struggles against the Pels, or, giving the Pelicans credit where credit is due. Their sound system that they've got going on, where all players can buy into a system and they all perform no matter who the personnel is. They're unfazed by Zion and BI out of the rotation. They can still perform nonetheless because they've got a system that every single player buys into and executes. So KD, once again a turnover. I don't know what this offense is right now. McCollum for 3, quick trigger, that's off. KD gonna get the rebound. And KD, the switch. Nance now on him. He gets into the paint. He is trapped. He had TJ open in the corner. He ignored him. And now Seth Curry on the outside. He's going to kick it out to the corner. The offense is so stagnant. Warren into the paint. He got stripped of it. He's got to shoot it. Oh, my life. Warren completely disregarding the shot clock. Alvarado being a pest with that defense. And another turnover for the Nets. Believe it or not, the Pels have also had 4 turnovers, but, you know, we're not doing ourselves any favors by having 4 of our own. Nance now going to look for the handoff. CJ, step back 3. Warren, I don't know where he's going. It was a wide open 3 again, but the 3 was off. It was short. KD going to drive on Marshall. Gets right past. And there is the dunk. And we need to see this assertiveness from KD because he's just been bossed this entire first quarter. He's shooting poorly. He's turning the ball over. He's got a lift. And that's a good kickstarter. Clacks with the activity. Forced an air ball on the McCollum floater. Utah is open in the corner. And he knocks it down. He is automatic from there. And the lead is back down to 5. So a couple stops leading to some good plays on offense. Just some good sets. Open looks. Early offense. Love to see it. Alvarado guarded by Warren. Nearly lost his footing. He's too quick. And Clacks cannot afford to foul. Alvarado basically doing a spin cycle under the rim. And the lead is back up to 7. So KD going to slow down the tempo. The high screen set by Clacks. KD going to drive it again. Foul. It's going to be a couple shots for KD. So as long as, you know, he's getting to the free throw line, you know, this shooting slump won't kill him dearly. Mini funk this last game and this start will come good again easily this game. Well, it's once again starts with defense. And right now the Pelicans are, you know, just being smart, really. That's where the offense is really spurted from. So KD's free throw is good. And we exceed 20, which, believe it or not, a couple minutes ago I didn't think was happening. So I would say if we can keep the margin at this by the end of the first quarter, I'd say that's, you know, a pretty good result given KD's early struggles. He's already taken 8 shots. He's taking them at a pretty high tendency. Well, he had 15 shots, you know, in the last game, in the first half. And this game, it's a similar story. Clacks more good defense, forces the miss on the hook shot. Then he threw it up. I don't know what he was doing, but KD was able to get there somehow. It was the most absurd thing I've seen. Clacks is Alvarado on him. And he's going to kick it out to Seth in the corner, who shoots. And he has also been money in the last game and the game before that. And it looks like he's transferred it over here again. The lead is down to 2. And Seth Curry tips that one out of bounds. So the lead is down to 2. And it's going to be Pelicans on the side. But the signs are there. Alvarado trying to draw a charge on Clacks there, and that would have been a huge foul to give away. KD nearly with a steal, basically playing Alvarado at his own game. Hayes with an excellent move, missed the shot after the excellent Euro step, but he was able to follow up his own shot, and the lead is back up to 4. So 1 possession here left in the first quarter. The Nets will hold for 1. KD is going to get the switch. He's now doubled. He shoots the 3 over 2. And KD is ridiculous. And Nance is going to launch one from half court. And that was short. It was pretty close to going down. But KD with 2 defenders on him. He's had it rough all first quarter. He missed 6 of his first 7 shots. And then just has the guts to knock down a 3 over 2 defenders. And just like that, the lead is back down to 1. And given the the defensive activity we've had in the first quarter, which hasn't been great, I would go as far to say that Clax has basically carried the defense. The fact that he's been able to be so active and just be a presence and be a blocking machine in the first quarter has single-handedly gotten us back in the game. So, let's have a look at the box score real quick. KD has got 11 despite shooting like trash. He has put a few shots up at a fairly high volume. The shooting numbers are much better. And look, I didn't realize we've hit 5 threes. We've hit our last 3 3-pointers. That has really helped us out. And then defensively, the Pelicans are 4 of 14 inside the paint or inside the 3-point line. And that's really speaking volumes about the presence of Clax and what that does in terms of making it difficult for oppositions to really take it to the rack. You can see Alvarado's got 5. Najee Marshall is 10, but granted, I don't think he's going to do that ever again this season. So look, the key is just, we've just got to carry over the form from the end of the first quarter. And then we'll be well on our way to a victory. But really, it just comes down to the defensive activity. You're seeing what happens when you play defense, when Clax is getting those stops and contesting those shots on the interior. It inadvertently leads to offense on the other end. It's no surprise. And, those 3-pointers are resulting from exactly that. So if every single player can do that, it's going to be difficult for the Pelicans to hold up a sustainable offense without Williamson, without Ingram, who can really shot create. CJ can do that. But look, if you can put clamps on CJ, then it's going to severely put pressure on the other role players on this Pelicans team to, perform and knock down their shots. And if they don't fall, well, then obviously that opens the door for our, for us to really, let this game get away from him. So, Clax has to be my undisputed player of the game so far. He's just been excellent in all facets of the game. So, he's had 5 straight games with 3 or more blocks, and that's the longest by a net since 2012, where Lopez reached the same mark. So pretty awesome. Second quarter beginning. Is Kyrie playing? Well, he is now in with Joe, Ben, Royce, and Seth. A very small ball lineup here with Jackson Hayes in the game. And even Larry Nance in the game. This is a weird lineup. We're going to get bossed on the interior, you would think. Marshall going to drive down the middle. Floater is off. Rebound secured by Joe. And just like that, we could have the lead back on the back of a nice little run to end bridging the first and the second quarters. Joe looking for a handoff to Kyrie. That is denied. He gets it to Curry instead, who is guarded by Nance. The handoff to Joe. Royce going to try find Kyrie under the basket. It wasn't on. And we're going to have a foul on Marshall. That's rubbish. They've called a take foul for that. What rubbish. They didn't call that last game. They didn't even look at it last game when we got pinged. That's a load of crap. Seriously. They don't give us those calls. They don't give us those calls. Of course not. So they're going to get a free throw plus ball. That's a load of crap. Supporting cast seems more dialed in today. We need decent bench points this outing. Well, yeah, especially if KD's not going to, be at 100% in the first quarter. So play resumes with Alvarado to Hayes. He's going to shoot the 3, Alvarado, and he knocks it down. He's been a bit of a sniper early on in this one. And he seems pretty locked in. Joe into the paint, and he is fouled by Devontae Graham, who is getting some action in light of these injuries. So 2 shots for Joe, and I do like this from him because it doesn't look like the 3-pointers are going to be granted that easily, even though we've already scored 5 3-pointers in this game. Free throw by Joe is good. And Joe is still finding his groove. He had a good month of December from the field, but it's been a down year overall, so he's got to probably pick things up, in this month. It'd be nice to see. Joe misses the second free throw. Ron, hope you're doing well, my guy. So we've got Marshall on the perimeter, who has basically been their number one option. Alvarado has been given way too many 3-point opportunities. He's going to get another look because we couldn't get an offensive board. The Pelicans crowd is so involved in it. Nice and early. Ben's going to take it inside. Joe in the corner. Fake the pass. Kick out to Seth Curry, who shoots and misses. He wanted a foul. He's not going to get it. Alvarado into the paint. He is rapid, and he scores another 2. I mean, I don't know where the answer is, apart from maybe Edmund Sumner. I don't know why the guy isn't getting minutes in recent memory. Joe doesn't shoot the 3. He wanted the give and go, and that was well cut off. Ben nearly lost his dribble. The defense is awesome by the Pels. They're playing a bit of zone to go with their man-on-man. Curry in the mid-range, that is off. And right now, Kyrie just can't get a shot up. They're denying him the ball, and everyone else isn't being responsible with it. The pass to Alvarado again! That time he's off. He's human. Kyrie in transition. Gets into the paint. Oh my god, he missed a fucking wide open layup. Jesus Christ. Marshall. Oh, for God's sake, Joe. So, we got free throws, I think. Joe picked up the foul. Ben swatted the shit out of Marshall's layup attempt, so there would be no +1. Yeah, what is Marshall on about here? He thinks he's all him right now. I mean, fair play because he's playing excellently well, but at the same time, man's initiated whatever niggle there was there. Anyway, second free throw is good. Marshall has just been fucking stupidly good. He's been stupidly good this game so far. Alvarado is playing one hell of a defensive game. Kyrie just cannot get anything. Royce, ball fake. He's going to be fouled, and of course it happened right at the moment that Joe was about to let it fly. Wide open for the 3, so a pretty smart foul in hindsight. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to show your support and also subscribe if you are new, so you're notified of when I go live next. The Nets game is Nets Heat. Kyrie is a wide open 3. That was well short. That time it wasn't even contested, so Kyrie and KD have been awful this game. So basically, it's been a battle of the supporting casts, and right now, it is the Pelicans well up to the task. Once again, Alvarado wide open for 3. What are we thinking? Curry is wide open in the corner. That has to go down, and he couldn't even hit that 3. I mean, seriously, man. So now Hayes has got it on the baseline, guarded by Kyrie. And oh my life. We're going to get a timeout, and rightfully so, because Kyrie found himself on Jackson Hayes there. Right? And, look, Kyrie has been, he's actually proven a lot of people wrong with the way he can hold his own in the post. And he forced a miss there. But unfortunately, I don't know what Ben Simmons is doing on that. Like, box the guy out. Jackson Hayes, that's the second time he's been able to put it up and in off his own miss. So right now, the lead sits at 13, and it's basically on the back of defense by the Pelicans. Their scheme right now is just really troubling us. We haven't been able to break it. We've been in an offensive funk. And look, I can get mad when we're playing like garbage, and I could say we are, but it's down to the Pelicans making shots and being disciplined to the task. And it's a lot of their role players stepping up. I mean, our players are getting open looks and not hitting shots. They are. And we've also, once again, defensively, been lackluster. I have no idea why Sumner is not in a game like this. When you need stops, Alvarado is running rings around your guards on offense. And, we need someone that's equally rapid to keep up. And Edmund Sumner is just as rapid as Alvarado. I don't know why he's not the guy that's being given the assignment to stop him, especially when Seth Curry can't buy shots. Sumner's equally capable. You can see right now the shooting is abysmal. Kyrie is 2 of 6. KD is 3 of 9. Usually we bank on those guys to be efficient, and then the offense flows through them. But right now they're not making shots, and the Pelicans are pretty comfy right now. And overall the shooting's shithouse. Yeah, the shooting is garbage. We have not made a field goal in this second quarter, and the Pelicans, well, they've got 13 from Marshall and 13 from Alvarado. So there you have it. Their shooting is nuts, especially from 3. And so I have to put it down to 2 things. The first one is us being undisciplined, especially on that 3-point defense. And the second thing is the offense itself is just so bad, and their defense is one hell of a thing to conquer. And it's, yeah, we're not doing a very good job of coping at all with everything they're throwing at us. And that's what I said before the game. I said the game wasn't going to be easy. Yeah, the game's not going to be easy. You're not going to get it delivered to you on a platter in the NBA. You've got to be awake, and you've got to be alert, and you've got to be ready to go. You've got to be ready to play your role and step up when required. And right now, the Pelicans are epitomizing that exactly. So, 13-point deficit we're going to have to dig ourselves out of. And it's going to be Royce pulling the trigger for 3. I knew the minute he released that shot that it was going to be well off. And now the Pelicans the other way. 41-28 the score. We cannot buy a bucket. Nance now guarded by Ben. This is a weird lineup, I have to say. Marshall down the middle. And Warren is being cooked this game. TJ Warren has looked really slow in this game. I have to say, I don't know if it's the injury, but he has been absolutely cooked in every single matchup that he's had to, embrace. Like, I'd understand being exploited by an Alvarado type who is rapid, but Marshall is taking you off the dribble, man. And right now, he's getting to the free throw line. Currently, his free throw tendency looks like it's at 99 right now. Or his shooting tendency is at 99. I mean, I want a little bit more, a little bit more innovation with the lineups. Because right now, the same lineups, persisting is not going to work. Kyrie for 2, that's good. And scores that one over Hayes. So that is, well, our first 2 of the game, of the half. That was our first 2 of the half. The only point we've scored in this second quarter, aside from that, was the Joe Harris free throw make. Nance, excellent defense by Joe. And with 3.4 left, they're going to have to try and manufacture something. But, if this Nets defense is anything to go off, it's the fact that we may give it away. The pass out to Nance. They're going to have to shoot it. Marshall. That's off. Rebound Royce. This is a good start. Joe. Out to Warren. And now Ben, who's going to attack. Try get Nance out of the way. Miss the layup. So now Devontae. Into the paint. Tries to get rid of Joe. Did well with the body. And gets another 2-pointer. So right now, I mean, Joe, how are you getting discarded by fucking Devontae Graham of all people? Warren, foul, +1. Scored in the mid-range. And we're going to need a few shots like that to get back in this game. Markieff Morris should play. Well, if we want a little bit of size, then yeah, I would 100% agree to that. But Edmund Sumner seems to be more of the pressing need at the moment. That's just in my eyes, because yeah, right now I feel like we're lacking, a little bit of defense at the guard position. So the lead back down to 12, and Devontae brings it up. Well, Alvarado's on the bench, so I think the need for, Sumner is less apparent. We got the turnover, the Euro by Warren, and it will be a foul again, this time on Trey Murphy in transition. Kyrie did a wonderful job of the, of being active on defense yet again. This time he forced the rash shot. Actually, no, he forced the turnover. It was a loose ball. We swooped, and now free throws for Warren. He makes number 1. And the lead is back down to 11. So CJ McCollum will check back in. The high man for the Pelicans, Marshall, is going to the bench. And he's been excellent. It's been wonderful. So it's probably a little bit of a blessing that he's gone to the bench, and potentially will be able to dig in. KD is still on the bench waiting to be brought back in after playing the entire first. So Murphy nearly lost it. McCollum, switch. Murphy in the corner. Drive, spin. Oh, that is rubbish! Yet again, what is that rubbish call, man? Trips over and it's a foul. Oh, you are taking the piss. That is never a foul. CJ going to drive and kick. Graham forced into an errant pass. Warren breaks away and throws it down. And there's going to be a timeout at the exact halfway point of this second quarter. Another steal forced by Kyrie Irving. And Kyrie, forced Devontae Graham into a pass. He didn't have any options going forward. He didn't really think that far. And it was a turnover. Good pass by Royce to get it ahead. And subsequent dunk. So excellent stuff. It has been defense, which dug us into a hole. And it's defense, which is, to no one's surprise, actually getting us back into this contest. Yet again, it was Clax in the first quarter that made it happen. And now it is Kyrie Irving who is really manifesting some good offensive play, courtesy of good defensive play. So, if you are enjoying the stream, make sure to show your support and subscribe if you are new. We will be back in a couple days for Nets Heat. Yeah. And, look. We also have a link pinned in the chat right now. It is for the mid-season awards. In a week from now, I will be doing a live awards show for the mid-season awards. And obviously, we need as many people voting as possible because it is fan votes. So if you want to put your votes in, make sure to do that. It'll take 5 minutes tops. Just a quick little, not survey, but yeah. All responses are anonymous, so you can, get the job done. And yeah, I think it's how many questions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 14 little multiple choice things that you need to answer. And yeah, it doesn't take much thought. It's just a matter of whether or not, yeah, you just put in your thingo, your responses, and obviously the more votes, the merrier. So please go do that whenever you get the chance. Maybe at the halftime break, you can use a little bit of time to do that. And that'd be awesome. I don't know if I'm reading this right, but the Charlotte Hornets are up 26 on the Bucks. They have to be resting Giannis, because there is no way Charlotte have dropped 43 on a team led by Giannis. I refuse to believe that. Giannis and Lopez. There's no way. Absolutely no way. Kai is getting his mojo going and trying to rev the boys up, a noticeable upshift in his energy. Well, it doesn't even have to be on the offensive side. Defensive, impact, I would argue, is more impactful than offensive impact. Because defense leads to offense. More so than offense leads to defense, really. So, we've just reached the halfway point. It is an 8-point game. Let's see what the Pelicans have drawn up out of the timeout. Valanciunas is back in, and I don't like this, having a small ball lineup with Valanciunas in. There's a miss on the three. Joe, why are you passing there, man? Bullshit. I like how we're trying to get it ahead and get in the offense early because the Pels have really thrown everything at us. But you've got to be rational with your passes. There's been so many that just aren't on, and we've just been too uncomposed going forward. Kyrie, once again, with excellent defense, we forced a miss. Devontae Graham, what are they doing? The Pelicans, that was really odd. McCollum, that was such an odd start to their possession. Murphy on the outside, 6 to shoot. McCollum in the paint. We're going to have a foul on Kyrie, who will pick up, I believe, his first. And that's probably a sensible foul to give away, because I think if it wasn't going to be Kyrie who picks it up, it was going to be Joe. I don't like the threes, though, by Kyrie, man. Like, we're in the bonus. You've got 5 minutes to play. You've got to be smart with stuff like that. So KD doesn't usually get rest this drastic. Like, he doesn't usually have a 7-minute break. He usually plays at least half of the second quarter. He's only playing 5 minutes to close out here. So the 2 free throws are good by Trey Murphy. And so 47-37 is the score. KD made his last 2 shots. Hopefully that is going to be the way things go the rest of the way in terms of efficiency. KD on the outside, the high screen set by Clax. Where is KD passing that? Immediately comes in and turns it over. Excellent strip by Royce, and now KD. Valanciunas was already back. KD +1. Excellent job. And look at that. I mean, defense once again leads to offense. This time, KD was in a one-on-one with Valanciunas. Valanciunas a bit rash with the closeout, and KD will get the benefit of a free throw. So, as much as the turnovers have been pretty poor by KD and have really allowed the Pelicans to run in waves, KD's actually done pretty well at getting to the free throw line and having an impact in ways that he probably doesn't usually have. Because he's not really a high-volume free throw shooter with the whistle that the Nets get. Seth Curry with a dumbass foul on the reach. I don't know how many times he does this, but that is just too easy. And CJ, who's a really good free throw shooter, is probably not going to miss 2. So it's basically a handout. Utah is getting ready to check back in. I would presume for Seth, because he's getting absolutely cooked. Bulls beating Philly by 14 near the end of the third. Well, that's a good sign for the Bulls, because obviously an awful start to the year. They beat us, played well, and I believe, well, they've gone toe-to-toe with the Cavaliers twice. And then the Bucks as well. They also went toe-to-toe with. I don't remember if they got the victory on that. So, as expected, the 2 free throws are good. Clax is going to have to bring it up past halfway himself. How is that not a foul? I don't understand. Royce is going to get it here up top. KD is going to be fouled. And Herb Jones is going to pick it up on a body bump. He doesn't like it, but look, I'm telling you, the power of, the power of a reaction. So KD actually got hit Herb Jones in the jaw. And, yeah, that's, well, I mean, it's a pretty 50-50 call, that one. Look, I'm just going to say it's, us getting paid back for the call earlier where Herb Jones got hit. Hornets, 51 points in the first. I don't know what they've been smoking pre-game, but must have been something special because they struggle to score 51 and a half usually, and they've scored 51 and a quarter against Milwaukee of all teams. Alvarado's back in, and for some reason, Clax is wrapping up Valanciunas, who is now holding his knee. 3 fouls for Clax, and that's probably I don't know if that's a smart foul to give up. He was going for the steal, overcommitted. It's going to be 2 shots for Valanciunas. Is Clax going to stay on? Not sure. So it looks like Valanciunas is okay. I'm not sure what happened here. So with about 4 minutes to play, the lead sits at 7. Is this a similar game as the Bulls won? A team starting to figure us out? There's no... Look, in the win streak, we beat a lot of teams that we should have beaten. These games are the ones that are supposed to test us. So, playing the Bulls, playing the Pels, playing the Heat next game, who love their zone defense, playing the Celtics, who love a good defensive system. They're all teams that are rightfully supposed to test us as a team. And so, look, if we don't win these games, you've got to put it down to 2 things. Are we good enough to compete with the best, number 1? And number 2, I don't know what number 2 is, but I think it's just about giving good teams credit where credit's due, because the Pels are a good team. They are, they've been winning the entirety of the way because, as I've said, their role players are competent. There's a reason they have only, they're 1 game back behind us, the Pels, albeit in the Western Conference, but there's a reason. They've copped a lot of injuries this year, but even so, the ship has been able to remain stable. Because of, that next man up mentality. So, yeah. And it's just like a blessing they have Zion also at their disposal. Well, now they don't, but, for the majority of the season without BI, they've had Zion to deal with. Or they've had Zion as the main man. So, Ben to the corner for Curry is wide open. He's got to hit that. He does. And he has been automatic, basically, for the last 3 games. CJ trying to attack Royce. The layup is good. That was too easy, Royce. Pretty poor one-on-one defense there on the guard. And now KD. Excellent find to Ben off the window. And that is 2 more for Ben. That was an excellent feed by KD. I feel like that's what he's been trying to do all game. Excellent job by KD on the interior. Apparently it's a double dribble. I thought there was an interruption there. But that bounce pass by KD is what KD's been trying to do with Ben the entire game. It's just that the Pelicans have been more alert and awake to it. On previous possessions. That time we did well. Once again, it's a late quarter run where we're digging in. First quarter, we were down by about this amount and we're able to get back into it. Utah to Royce. Corner for Seth. Ben set a screen to try free him up. It did work for a short moment. Utah trying to swoop on a rebound. Can't get it after Seth missed it. Kick out for Herb Jones in the corner. Does not shoot. Trey Murphy. I mean, his first name is Trey, so it should indicate something, and he knocks down the three. And that's good ball movement by the Pels. Are we going to get a timeout? No. The shot clock stopped a little bit longer than suspected. KD is going to shoot in the mid-range. Excellent cross, but it is off. And it's the Pels with the rebound. KD's just got to be a bit more assertive, man. Those deep twos ain't it, Chief. Seth Curry, good read. Red Alvarado's pass to perfection. And now we're going to get into an offensive set. The screen set by KD. He's now guarded by Nance. He's trying to get the ball, but Nance guarding well. And we've literally had 15 seconds of the shot clock, and it's stayed in one player's hands. Somehow we got it up and in. Excellent work by Seth. I mean, it was a terrible offensive possession in terms of trying to move the ball, but regardless, we come away with 2 points, and we're in the final 2 minutes. CJ, step back 2. Shot is short. Ben, and now Royce with the rebound. KD going to kick it out to Utah. Back to KD, who's got Alvarado on him. Foul. Tried off the window. Nearly went down. It's going to be free throws for KD. The Pels should be given credit, but the Nets are giving them the game. I wouldn't say that. We're not giving them the game. We have had a few, bad mistakes, but that is primarily off the back of the Pelicans playing exceptionally well. You know, their defensive system has been so hard to navigate. And we usually are just infamous for having difficulties in navigating the defense on the three. What am I talking about? The zone. I just began talking about something completely different. So we got the free throw. Oh, KD sawed in! They're not going to say it's a goaltend. And some of them want that call. Obviously, it's a pro Pels crowd, so you're going to hear a lot of noise on the bench for calls that don't seem to go in their direction. But excellent presence by KD. And now McCollum going to drive on Kyrie. Oh, what are you doing, Kai? Man, he has been good and shit at the same time, but those kill you. Because KD has just scored 2 at the line. If we get a stop here, it goes back to a 1-possession game if we score on the other end. But it's up to 8 in the blink of an eye if McCollum makes the free throw, which I'm already going to say it does, and it does. Excuse me. So, I'm a little bit behind on the shot clock, or game clock. KD, the high screen by Seth Curry. He now takes it on the bounce. Shot blocked. Ben with the putback. And now Alvarado's going to try get into a set pretty quickly. The pass is blocked off, and now McCollum on the outside. I don't like Seth Curry on him. The switch. Utah now guarding. I like this matchup. CJ going to try take him off the dribble. And Utah does exceptionally well to force the ball out of his hands. And it will be a side out for the Pels on the baseline. 6 to shoot. And Royce is going to come back in the game for, I believe, Seth Curry, who played basically the entire second quarter. Played 14 minutes in a row. So it's going to be a side out for the Pels. They're going to look for CJ, who's going to get it. What the hell is that rubbish defense by Royce? He came in for 3 seconds and does the worst thing possible. He comes in for defense and just probably has the most awful defensive possession you could ask for out of a side out with 3 to shoot. Oh my life. And then KD missed the layup. Alvarado the other way is going to take a couple shots. This is a load of rubbish, man. Where's the foul? Utah is not happy. He's not, he doesn't get upset, all that often. Alvarado makes free throw 1. So, look. Conceding nearly 70 points to this team is rubbish. We've conceded nearly 60% on 3-pointers. Our offense has sucked. So, yeah, there's a lot of things not going right at the moment. Whoops. So, free throws are good. They've also been pretty much flawless in that area as well. It's going to be Royce. I don't see why Royce came back in. So, Royce going to drive. Oh, for God's sake. KD. Kyrie's going to get it in the corner. He sent Royce away. He's going to drive. He's going to shoot the 2, and he's short on that. I mean, it's been rubbish. That is a rubbish final possession. Hold the ball. Give it to Kyrie. And shoots a 2. I mean, in games that go our way, those shots fall. But there's been a lot of shots where it's been well short. I want to see Edmund Sumner minutes in the second half. Because right now, the defense is the biggest issue, and we need someone that can bring energy in that department. And right now, 64 points conceded. You have to get someone in that raises the standard on the defensive side. We saw what happens when you bring in players that defensively are sound. We've seen it in this game. The minute we start creating stops, we go on a run. The minute we turn to shit on the defensive side, it compromises our offense a crap ton. And he's quick as a bullet. Yeah. Edmund Sumner is excellent as a matchup for Alvarado. And as much as you want Seth Curry in for shooting, I'd rather have Edmund Sumner and take it to the rack as much as possible rather than settle for a 3 with Seth Curry, who has no acceleration or burst of pace. Every single time he ends up on Larry Nance, he can't even get past him when he takes him off the dribble because he's just not quick enough. The Nets aren't making shots. Well, yeah, that's what it comes down to. The Pelicans have been good defensively, but every time our shots have fallen, it's been because the defense on the other end has allowed us to, start an early offense. Let's have a look at the box score. And you can see the Pelicans aren't shooting the ball well overall. I mean, on the interior, they're shooting 9 of 27. So we've actually been pretty good there. But the problem is, the 3's number 1. And even though that shooting in the restricted area and inside the 3-point line has been fairly woeful, the minute I extend the stats, you will see they have had 17 free throws. So that is where they're making a living right now. When they go on the inside, they either miss or they get to the free throw line. So we need to get the balance right between playing defensively and keeping him off the free throw line at the same time. On our end, well, yeah, we've had a lot of free throws, which is a good sign. Only missed 1 as well. But the problem is the shooting. Just overall, it's pretty crap. To be fair, though, it's a pretty similar mark to the Pels if we look at it from the field, but it's just the 3s. They're shooting at way too high of a clip. And their free throws are also outdoing us. The turnover count, well, they've got 7, which isn't bad. But I would say we've had less. That's surprising to me. Because we've felt really disjointed at times. I guess that is a positive. The fact we've only had 6 turnovers. We've only had 6 turnovers despite their defense throwing everything at us. But that said, the shots aren't falling right now. I mean, if we look at the box score overall, and it's been the last couple of games where there hasn't been any support. 18 to KD, and that's not on great efficiency. Kyrie's got 7 on poor efficiency. You can see on the bench, the offensive contribution's been much better. That said, we only have 1 player in double figures, and KD is it. OKC are smoking the Wizards. Well, I mean, games with those kinds of teams involved can result in anything, really. It's pretty hard to pick. Bright spot to all of this, the Bucks are getting killed. Giannis is 3 points. That is baffling to me how Giannis is getting smoked by the Hornets. Ben hurts our offense when he makes bad decisions. Well, I don't think he's been the worst player at all. I think he's been sensible when he's had the ball. And defensively, he's been okay. Clax has been our clear number 1 defender by a long way. A country mile. Every time Clax is in, despite him having 0 points, he's been wonderful. The problem is we need to get him out on the park more often. Only the 11 minutes in the first half, and when you pair that up with Ben playing 20, the reason for Ben playing 20 is because he's been playing small ball 5 minutes, because Clax can't stay on the court. But Clax is a +6, and TJ's a +7, Utah's a +9. So it's very clear the kind of players that are defensively, knuckling down. Clax's 3 blocks, been pretty active. It's been good to see. But aside from Clax and KD, I mean, Kyrie is a -25. So that bench unit is getting absolutely spit roasted. At least we're not getting blown out by 25. Well, look, silver lining is it's only 11 points. And, there's been so much wrong with our first half. The bad thing is it's still 11 points. And we know what happens when we're trying to chase a game constantly. It's not a position you want to be in. So, look, we've got work to do. Ben's been alright. Kyrie's been pretty decent defensively, I'd have to say. He's forced a few turnovers, even though the steals and the blocks wouldn't suggest it. Good on you for giving the Pels credit. They're making it proper tough for us. As I said, I'm going to credit teams where credit is due. And the Pelicans, as I've said, their record isn't what it is for nothing. I mean, look at this. McCollum's at 13, and on paper, a lot of casuals would say, well, McCollum and Valanciunas is all they've got. But if you look further, obviously Marshall is 15, and he's stood up particularly well today. You look further down, you see Alvarado's got 15. So all these players are really delivering, even though the box score may not suggest it. Just with defensive activity, and you need 5. You have 5 players on a court. And all of them have to be locked in. Because if one isn't, that could allow a weak rotation and someone to get an open shot. Purely on the back of your incompetence defensively. Every single one of those players have bought in today. And helped halt the number 1 offense, who have just, pretty much off the back of a 12-game win streak. So, yeah, they're playing well. The keys of the game for the second half. 3-point shooting needs to stop. You cannot concede 23s and think you're going to win. We need to pick up our shooting, and it would really help if the role players could do more. But I think it starts with KD and Kyrie. The minute they start knocking down shots, that is going to instill a lot of worry into the Pelicans. They're going to commit their numbers to KD and Kyrie because, obviously they're trying to find ways to stop both of them. And in doing so, there should be some more wide open looks that open up. But for the moment, as long as KD and Kyrie can't make shots, they're currently shooting a combined 33%. We're not going to win the game. And it's been probably a miracle we've scored 53 because KD scored 18. He's gone to the free throw line a little bit more than usual. I think a little more is an understatement. He's got 9 free throws already. But if you are enjoying the stream, make sure to show your support on it and share your feedback if you've got any about the stream, if there's any little segments or things you want me to include. Also, you will notice the mid-season awards at the top of the chat. If you want to do that in the halftime break while we've got a little bit of breathing space between quarters. If you want to do that, it'll take 5 minutes. The responses are anonymous. Just a few little things, few little awards. They're fan voted, so obviously we need the fans to vote if you want fan voted awards. So the more people that can do that, that would be excellent. So 29 people in chat right now. If we can get as many people as possible onto that, that'd be awesome. And it'll take about 5 minutes of your time. You don't really need to think too much. Actually, you do. I mean, yeah. It's basically multiple choice. You've got every single player to pick from every single award. And obviously, happy days. So, should be a little bit of fun. Obviously, when we announce the winners. But yeah, there's probably a minimum amount of responses I'll need to get in order for the award show to go ahead. Because it would make absolutely zero sense for me to do an award show when there's been no one who's voted. Regardless, big second half ahead. Big second half ahead. And look, last time we played these two teams played one another, it was an 8-point deficit at the half. And then in the third quarter, we went out and conceded 40. In a quarter that's really shown a lot of weakness. So look, it's going to be extremely key that we start the second half on fire. There's been games, as we said in that win streak, where we were able to combat any struggles in the first half and really set the tone at the very start of the second half. Against the Bulls, in that last game, it was really... what's the word? It was pretty clear to see that as soon as, that quarter started and, the first 5 minutes elapsed of that game, we knew how this game was going to go. Because we didn't start the second half with the same intensity that we did in those games in the win streak where we were able to fight back. So we're going to need a colossal effort in the second half. It is going to start with the two superstars, as we've mentioned. Clax needs to stay on the floor for as long as possible. We need to make more shots. Well, yeah, that is definitely step one. KD gave the Bulls heaps of credit also. Pure class, no whinging at all. Well, yeah. I can't get mad if teams beat us on the back of them playing well. I can get mad if we are the dictators of, the result. If we're, in charge of our own downfall. And in some ways we were responsible. I mean, Royce O'Neal shooting threes in the last game was just pain. But in saying that, it is what it is. We move forward. You've got to be able to just move forward and not dwell on poor results, because otherwise your confidence is always going to be down and out. Simple game plan, get Ben 4 more points and we win. Well, yeah, the stats would suggest that. In case you don't know, if Ben is in double figures, we historically this season have won every single game. How many here who are from Japan? Hopefully heaps. Well, I don't know. Well, you would, you know, there was quite a fair bit of traffic that came to the channel as a result of the Utah video I did. So there may be a few hanging around, but in terms of just as a whole, Utah brings so much attention to the Nets if we're talking about the country of Japan. Alrighty. So other games are the Bucks have conceded 79 points in a damn half. 82 now, make it. Rozier's got 25 and LaMelo's got 19. They've both, they've combined for 18 3-point attempts and 11 makes, which is just berserk. And then, well, for the Bucks, Giannis has 6 and Lopez has 9. I don't know what's going on with the Bucks there. Chicago, Levine's got 32. He's 80% from 3. Vucevic is 19 points, 18 boards, 8 assists. And without a starting center for Philly, you probably expected that. James Harden has stunk it up. He's got 11. He's shooting 2 of 14. So yeah, that's always going to be difficult to overcome as well. OKC smoking the Wizards, as mentioned before. Kuzma got 13. And no one scored more than 12 for OKC, so a really well concerted half by them. Giddey's got 9, Shea's got 10. Jalen Williams is the high man with 12. Alrighty. Second half needs a response. I want to see it nice and early. I will know if this team is locked in and engaged if, if we start the second half with energy. Here we go. So already we've commenced with a full court press to begin things. So I already know what the message has been at halftime. I mean, granted, it didn't take a rocket scientist to know. Herb Jones is a wide open 3. That's off. Rebound, Kyrie. Off hands. And now Kyrie to Ben. Early offense. KD in the corner for 3. That is good. He got the bounce. And that was a bit fortunate, but we will take it nonetheless. So an early 3 to start things, and Herb Jones shooting 3s is probably something that I'm happy to live with. Marshall down the middle. Oh, that is rubbish. Where's the foul there? That is a load of rubbish. Another bullshit whistle. That is a joke. I don't know what that was for. Let's have a look. Oh, that is a load of crap. Kyrie is just hands up, done nothing. Marshall missed, ball don't lie. That is a rubbish call. Whoever made that call, I don't know what they're looking at. Marshall has just pushed off Kyrie there. That is a load of crap. Oh, my life. I don't expect anything less from referees when they are officiating a Nets game. The lead's back up to 9. That could be a vital point down the line. Ben. They're trying to find KD. They're going to get it to him top of the key. He's going to drive it. He's going to shoot off the window. And he scores for 2. And Valanciunas once again on the deck for the second time in this game. McCollum going to drive on Clax. Good work by Clax. But Ben, I don't know what he was doing trying to trap McCollum. But he allowed Valanciunas to be unattended under the basket. Unforgivable. Kyrie, bounce pass to Clax. KD wide open in the corner. That is money. You cannot let him have that much space. And immediately KD is looking fairly awake in comparison to the start of the first quarter. He's already got 26 in the game. That was a bit of a loose pass by the Pels. McCollum blows right past Ben. He missed the floater. Somehow get the offensive board. And that is once again shithouse. shithouse boxing out. So Ben, Kyrie is going to get an open look. I think he was surprised by the amount of space he had on the interior. So 69-63 the score. So the high screen set by Valanciunas. Marshall. Oh, that was a loose pass. Herb Jones got to get it. Guarded by KD. Euro. KD, good contest. Miss. KD rebound. And overall, the energy is here. It is present. It is alive. Ben gonna post up McCollum. You had to exploit that. No look to Clax. He flips it up and in. And the lead is back down to 4. And all of a sudden, I can just see the intensity's changed. Valanciunas, lost ball, poked loose. And it's going to be a jump ball. Clax does well there. Got an itchy throat. Oh. No way the Hornets are beating the Bucks that bad. Well, yeah, and I thought it was without Giannis, because you would rest Giannis, or so you would think, for a game against the Hornets, but, you know, nuts. So it's going to be a jump ball. Clax once again making a huge impact. He's going to have to knock it over his left shoulder in order for us to get the ball. It ends up with Ben. Excellent IQ! And it's going to be a side out. That was such a good play by Ben. Ben got it in the palm of his hand off the jump ball. Immediately released it for Irving. And McCollum with an excellent defensive play to stop the score. Clacks off the window for 2. And an excellent find by Kyrie. But it is literally defense leading to offense. And also the offense looks a little more cohesive, more energetic, more players on the move. The passing is there. And Clax has also gotten into the game on the offensive side. So, you know, that's the reason we're being able to start games well, because Clax has gotten involved. Maybe a 3-pointer by Royce nice and early. So, you know, there's always things happening in the background of what KD and Kyrie are doing. And that's why we've been able to make this early third quarter push. Clax, as much as the stat line would suggest he's been awful, I'm going to say he's been our player of the game today. Thus far. Clax is entering that zone. Clax is just... He's been a gun today. He's been excellent. And I'm just going to, you know, put the spotlight on him for a second. Only the 4 points, 3 boards, 2 dimes in 14 minutes. But the eye test would say different. He's had a steal. He's had 3 blocks. And he is also, well, aside from the personal fouls, he has always been, you know... Every single thing that involves Clax has been a scrap. It hasn't been easy. He's, you know, scrambled for a couple loose balls, which is good. And we've won the jump ball both times. You know, and I thought Valanciunas was going to absolutely cook us, but Clax has done so well to hold his own in that area, and that's been a real like point of growth, or that we've been hoping for. And that provides a little bit more reassurance if, you know, we're going to end up going against the likes of Embiid and Giannis and Lopez and those guys. We need a center that can hold their own against some really big bodies. So it's a positive sign, I have to say. Would I get some visitor commentators at any stage? Some of your mates in Vic Double Aussie commentator team. Don't really have any mates that follow basketball dearly. So, you know, unless there's a huge NBA watch-along movement, then I probably will just continue to do it by myself, I think. If a trade were to happen, who would you trade out of the Nets? Probably one of the guards. Because right now we've got a guard rotation that not everyone is being utilized in, like Patty Mills. Seth Curry wasn't for a few games. Sumner's not even being utilized. And he's a really handy player, so... And that's also, not including Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas is probably the best player you can get a return for, in terms of plays that are probably expendable. Anyway, we're back in business. Marshall going to bring it up, picked up by Kyrie. 9-2 run in the last couple of minutes. Alrighty. Stop needs to continue. Or stops need to continue. McCollum on the outside. Shot clock at 3. Good defense. No! That isn't a whistle, man. Bro, Ben, what are you doing? You have 3 seconds on the shot clock and you're committing fouls like that. Against a really good free throw shooter. It's basically a free 2 points. My goodness, I was worried for KD there for a minute. 0-5, I knew he wouldn't be in that slump the whole game. Well, yeah, it's not really a surprise. KD, knocked down a 3-pointer with 2 sets of hands in his face, and he literally was like 2 of 8 at that point. So he's not really fazed by anything, even though he looks up at the box score an awful lot. CJ missed both. That's a surprise, so I feel like that's just potentially the way this game is trending. I hope so. Simmons on the outside, guarded by Trey Murphy. KD is getting bumped off the ball. Of course, no whistle. He has everything rough. Where is the foul there? We tip it out. Royce for the lead. Yes! Woo! And it's taken half a game, but we're back in the game. And then CJ just responded with a 3 of his own. So that lead lasted for a whole 3 seconds. And boy, oh boy, were those 3 seconds excellent. And Clax responds with a 2+1. And Clax is getting involved. And it is one of the main reasons why we've been able to get back in this game is actually getting more run in this third quarter because he's not in foul trouble. He's got 3 fouls, but he hasn't picked one up this quarter. So the free throw to get the lead back at the 7:56 mark. The free throw is good. And, as I said, every time Clax has been in the game today, it has resulted in good things only. McCollum on the outside, the high screen. Now Murphy guarded by Simmons. Marshall, who has not scored in the quarter, is going to try drive on Kyrie, who stays with. KD, good defense. Marshall high off the window. The response and the lead is back for the Nets. So Ben, Kyrie, going to drive. He's held up by Herb Jones. Good defender. High screen Clax. And Kyrie pulls up for the mid-range. That is off. It was a good shot. It bounced out of the rim. And now McCollum quickly in the offense. Passed it to absolutely no one. I think he thought that Marshall was ducking to the corner where there was a lot of space. But instead, it was a turnover. Pass to the first row. So it will be a side out. Ben going to inbounds it to Kyrie, who's picked up by Alvarado. And this was the stage of the game where things changed. Alrighty, so the high screen is not utilized by Kyrie. He sends him away. He's going to try... Well, no, he's going to... Yep, that's a blocking foul on Herb Jones. KD was trying to go down the middle. Kyrie... I thought he was going to go into a little bit of an isolation with Alvarado, but we know he's a good defender. So it was a little bit of an off-ball action for KD to receive it. And it's going to be Nets on the side. KD holding his finger. He's okay, though. So 7 minutes. 7 minutes to play. 1 point game. The lead was out to about a dozen, I think, at its summit. But we've done well to dig in and get back into it. Ben is going to take an early seat in this second half. TJ returns. KD now on the outside. Royce in the corner. Got to shoot it. Gotta shoot it. You need awareness, man. What are you doing? And then it's gonna be a turnover. So the Pelicans got it, but then the pass was errant. Marshall lost the ball and stood on the sideline trying to recover. So we get out the woods there, and will be a full 24 that we now have to work with. Oh, mate. Alvarado was doing that bullshit hide behind the basketball frame thing. He nearly nabbed it off Kyrie. If it works, it works, but it's so pesty. KD with the mid-range pull-up, and he hasn't been able to make those all day. But this time, he was able to knock it down. The lead is back. Valanciunas, the spin. Excellent defense by Clax. He stays with Valanciunas. 2 offensive boards, 2 misses. The Nets now in transition. Royce, you have an open 3. Knock it down. He does. Call that timeout, New Orleans. You wouldn't. They don't. We're still going. Alvarado to the outside for Marshall, who drives. Easy layup. I don't know what that defense was. It really couldn't be any worse. You know, given the previous possession was an excellent defensive possession. KD going to face up Marshall. Top of the key. Does not shoot the 3. Kyrie with 7 to shoot. Shoots over the top. That 3 is off. Kyrie, you got to go into the paint. You cannot make 3s for your life this game. CJ going to drive. Spin. Step back 2. That's skilled. And the lead is once again tied after the Nets got it out to 4 for a brief moment. Kyrie going to get it past halfway. Dyson Daniels getting ready to check in. The man from Bendigo. Royce into the paint. The floater is good. And Royce has been fairly decent in this second half. Him and Clax, despite KD and really Kyrie doing nothing, KD's done a fair bit. There's going to be a foul on the floor. Royce and Clax have really gotten involved, and it's the shots that they've been able to make when given the opportunity. Where was Alvarado at? Alvarado, where is he? You literally couldn't see him on the screen when he was hiding. I think the Pelicans crowd in that scenario do more harm than good because they, cheer him on as he's about to swoop on it. So, basically warns the opposition of Alvarado who's about to swoop. On this possession, though, Alvarado catch and shoot 3 is well off. Warren wasn't even looking. Daniels got the board. Murphy misses, and KD with the rebound. So they're now starting to miss their shots, which is a welcome sight. I didn't think it was going to be sustainable the whole game. Warren missed it. Rebound for McCollum off hands, and now it's going to be McCollum pulling up for 3. He is feeling it in this third quarter, and we're going to get a timeout. And that's probably justified. Because right now, that is lackluster defense. I'll tell you what, TJ Warren today, the defense has sucked. He's looked so flat-footed. He's been blown past. You know, in the last couple of possessions, the first one, where Dyson Daniels got the rebound, TJ Warren wasn't even looking at the basket. You've got to be more game-aware. And even on that possession, not game-aware. He had CJ McCollum ready to pull up. There was a 2-on-1. I mean, granted, TJ had his hands full having to guard 2 against 1. Yeah. But really, you got to attack the defend the hot hand. And unfortunately, we were exposed. So the lead is back in the hands of the Pels. It's been a bit toe-to-toe in this back portion of the second, this half of the quarter. Since we were able to dig right in and then regain the lead, it hasn't really gotten away from either side. How many Clax points? We'll have a look for you right now. And there it is. Wait, no, hang on. We're just going to simplify it. KD's got 28. KD's got 28. But you can see the scoring is slowly beefed up from Royce and Clax. Clax had no points. Royce had 3. And obviously in this quarter, they've combined for 15. And that's why we've been able to, you know, dig in and get back in this game. Kyrie shot the ball so badly. He's got to take it into the restricted area, I do think. Because 4 of 13 from the field is bad enough. But then shooting 5 threes and only making 1, a lot of those, you know, 3-pointers are hella contested. So you got to be smart with it. And Kyrie today has not really been that smart. I mean, there's been an interior presence, so that may have deterred him. But you've got to be smarter. And look, the role players are now delivering. But the next step, obviously, is getting Kyrie into fourth quarter mode, I do think. KD is well and truly present. He scored 10 this quarter. So those 3 players that I've just mentioned in the last minute or two are probably the ones that have really fueled this comeback. And we always said Clax and Royce needed to be present. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like and also subscribe if you're new. We'll be back for Nets Miami in a couple days, so if you want to stay notified when I get or go live, make sure to do that. We also have a mid-season awards link. I will be doing an awards show in a week from now, so it is fan voting. Response is anonymous. It's a pretty short form, so if you want to fill that out when you get a chance, make sure to do so, because obviously without fans voting, you can't have a fan-voted awards show, can you? KD took a shot on that screen there. Regardless, no whistle either way. Seth Curry to Joe. Why are you passing there? KD is guarded by Alvarado, being a pest as usual. Seth Curry, you got to shoot it. He traveled. Dumbass. And turnover. Who would have thought that KD is going to get deterred by Alvarado on defense? He's like a full foot taller than him. And yet, still didn't even like attack the paint. So Alvarado on the outside. Daniels, Valanciunas in the paint. And Valanciunas is just too big, too strong. And we only had 1 defender on the interior that time. We didn't want to collapse the paint. So, lead back up to 3. Kai Simmons and Harris must have gotten... Oh, whoops. I started the timer. Kai Simmons and Harris must have gotten scorched together looking at the plus-minus. Well, yeah, I mean... As I said, I have no idea why Sumner is not getting minutes in a game like this where, you know, containing the guards have been so difficult. KD over Daniels, that's off. Good contest. Clax soars in for a rebound. Joe to KD. In the paint, he was blocked from behind by CJ, of all people. Second time in this quarter, he has just swooped on a shot by one of the superstars. Alvarado missed the layup, and once again, Valanciunas off the window, offensive rebound. So a 5-point game. It's been a 7-0 run by the Pels, and we have to respond now. It's an 11 to extended. KD is doubled. Seth Curry for 3. The response is no good. I mean, if Seth Curry isn't scoring threes and he's committing bullshit fouls, then what use is he? What the fuck is that? KD gets a shot to the face on a push-off and no call. What a damn surprise. Rubbish. So Seth Curry now on the outside. The high screen Clax. Warren now. Back to Seth. KD going to get it in the high post. He lost the ball. It's going to be a tip. It's going to be Nets ball on the side with 4.5. And look, if feeding KD feeding KD is not the answer, then what is at the moment by the looks? We're feeding KD. He's got a clear mismatch. Ben You need to attack. You've got 2 seconds. The hook shot is off. Rebound by KD. Saves it. Kick out to Ben. Joe gets past the closeout. KD. Back to Joe. One more. Warren. Got it. +1. And that's excellent ball movement. I mean, they overcommitted on KD. So there was always going to be an open number somewhere. And we were so sensible with passing in that scenario. First it was Joe, then it was TJ, and then Valanciunas with a bit of a rash contest. So with 2 minutes to play or so, 85-82. Why doesn't this coach like Sharp? Quite frankly, he would get absolutely smoked against Valanciunas. Just Valanciunas has a fairly good understanding of post-craft. So, given Dayron at times is a foul machine, I don't think that's a smart idea. So, Trey Murphy going to drive. Oh, that's a big bump. Ben got flattened. It's going to be an illegal screen. Ben is slow to get up. He's all right now. That was a very hard hit there. And there's a fair bit of vocality from the Pelicans crowd at the moment. That's a huge hit. And look, you could have honestly made your case either way, but look, you can't say Ben didn't get flattened there. So Ben on the outside. KD, going to face up Daniels. You have to attack this matchup. It's immediately a foul. And not a smart whistle there. Or a smart foul to give away. We're in the bonus. So that's an easy 2 shots for KD. And you would usually bank him in to make these in his sleep. So, yeah. Good amount of people in chat now. I hope you're all doing well. Make sure to say hello if you're new around here. In games gone by where there's been, games on national TV, we don't usually get this many viewers, so I'm fully grateful you're prioritizing my commentary over ESPN's for some weird-ass reason. KD has made both at the line to tie things up yet again. He is 7 of 12 since the point where he was 1 of 7. So, still shooting sub 50%, but he has rescued it from a dire shooting percentage. Alvarado extra feed. Nance misses the layup. Excellent help defense. Larry Nance reached a point of no return there. And was a bit rash with the attempt. Ben does well. Saves it. Joe Harris was stripped. Seth Curry secures. And Nance deflects it out of play. But you know what? I'm going to be satisfied with a reset because I think we needed it. Kyrie about to check in for the final minute of the third quarter. He will play the beginning of the last as well, you would suggest, or you would think, presume. Curry's going to go to the bench. So 5 on the floor is Kyrie, KD, Ben, Joe, and TJ. Ben on the outside. We've got 7 to shoot. I don't know what we're doing. Joe with 5. Going to feed KD. He's going to shoot. Toe on the line. Shot is off. And it's going to be a rebound for Alvarado. So that was a pretty poor possession. Yet again, you got to attack the matchup on Daniels there. And it's a good assignment for Daniels, who is obviously a rookie. McCollum over the top. That was a bad miss, but Nance, right spot, right time. McCollum again, that's off. KD gets the rebound. He's got to watch the people behind him that were about to swoop on the steal. And we're able to slow things down. So, no risk of a bullshit turnover, but there still could be a form of turnover on offer. Alvarado's doubles. Warren for 3. That's good. With 7.5 to play in the third quarter. And now Alvarado weaves through. Lost the ball. And it's going to be an expiry on the third quarter. Alvarado's hurt. And I don't know if he took a shot or what. But excellent defense at the back end there by Kyrie. Contesting 2 3-pointers by McCollum, who has been on a pretty much of a I don't even know what I'm saying. On a tear in the third quarter. So we stopped those. Oh, Ben put his knee into Alvarado. That was a bit of a dirty play, if I'm gonna be honest. That's a pretty dumb decision. So, 1 quarter to play. We got the lead back. We were down 11. It was an excellent third quarter. It all started with the defense. Only conceded 21 and scored, 35 of our own? So an excellent quarter. An excellent quarter. Yeah. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to show your support and subscribe. If you want to stay notified for when I go live next. It will be the Nets Heat game, which will be the next game that I stream. If we look at the box score, we mentioned the importance of role players contributing a little bit more. But it would all start with the superstars. And Kyrie has been poor today. Defensively, he's been all right. KD has really set the tone, though. He scored 12 in that quarter and was a fair bit to contend with. But given he's starting to knock down shots, other players are getting more open looks because KD is getting doubled. Royce and Clax combined for 15 in that quarter. Ben got on the board. He's had 9 dimes in this game too. And TJ hit double figures in the back end of that quarter. And, that's something we were lacking last game. And, at the start of this game, it looked like it was going to be a very similar trend. But we've done well here to, wrestle it back. Shooting in the third quarter, 5 of 7 from 3. Got the shooting splits up. And the Pelicans only have 1 shot less than us. They're shooting the ball poorly. And the threes, well, they only scored 2 of 6 from downtown. Obviously, the first half, they scored 10 threes on nearly 60%. So we've done well in also wrestling back momentum in that regard, and that's why the game is evened up. They also had 17 free throws in the first half, and they've only had 4 in that third quarter. They only made one of their 4 as well. I'm speaking a little bit too fast for my brain to function. But yeah, a lot of things that we needed to fix at halftime. Obviously, there was an emphasis at halftime to really resolve that. A ton of players who have scored above 6 points, which is also good. We need contribution wherever we can get it. Here we go. We've got 1 quarter to play. KD and Kai shooting just 36% combined from the field. Well, if we've seen anything, or if this season has proved anything, it's that, irrespective of the first 3 quarters, Kyrie can just light it up. And same with KD. KD has already, fought those early mental demons. It's about Kyrie doing the same thing now. And if we can do that, it'll go a long way. But that is a poor start. We saw how we started at, the start of the third. And that was incredibly ideal, the way we were able to play early. But that is not an ideal start. A illegal screen by Ben sees the Pels get into early offense. It's going to be Graham, kick out to Marshall. Man, Graham's minutes have been pretty shithouse today, I have to say. From a non-Pelican supporter, Utah gets blown right past by Alvarado. Put Sumner on him. For God's sake, man. He's gonna cook every single player that guards him. Except Sumner. I don't know why he doesn't get any minutes. Kyrie, 4 to shoot. Into the paint. Lost the ball. It's going to be a turnover. I am so against this bullshit. You have to hold Alvarado accountable. He's short on that 3. He is human. And there's a foul on Hayes. It's going to be Joe who picks it up. Crazy how KD's bad games aren't even that bad. Well, yeah, it's not even a bad game. He scored 28 or 30 already. Call me crazy, but if Kyrie can't score, bench him. No, that's completely irrational. But I'll tell you what. I mean, Utah has immediately gone to the bench. They're going to play Royce, which I don't know if that's the move I'd make. Alvarado on the drive. Hayes, who is guarding on the baseline. Good work by whoever stripped him of the ball. We get it ahead. Royce has to hold things up. He gets it to Kyrie. Joe in the corner. Oh my god, he airballed it. What the fuck was that? I don't know how many minutes you can persist with this lineup, man. The small ball lineup has not worked. Warren is actually giving Alvarado space to shoot the three because he simply cannot defend when he takes it off the dribble. What is that rubbish foul again? Ben is... I don't even know what this is, man. Let's have a look. Oh, that is rubbish. He barely touched him. Alvarado puts his hand on the floor to basically indicate he got pushed like an 8-footer pushed him that weighs 300 pounds. And, of course, they blow the whistle. Rubbish. Referees have just so many soft calls. Devontae Graham freed up on the 3. That's so hard to say. Joe wrestles for the rebound. And with 10 minutes to play, we still haven't scored in this last quarter. Clax is back in. Kyrie falling away for the 2. That's off. He's got to drive it. He had an open lane to the basket there. Graham in the corner. Cross court to Alvarado. The high screen by Hayes. Lost the ball. Clax. Kyrie. Gonna bring it up. Pull up for 3. And he's just shot the ball like crap. Drive the ball, Kyrie. Oh, this is a joke, man. Every single time. He's getting open looks. He's not making them. Take it to the basket. Especially if you're going to play early offense. Graham nearly lost it. Marshall into the paint. That's a tough shot. That's off. Rebound. Yes. Oh my god, Royce. Please secure it. That wasn't convincing, but as much as our defense has been rubbish, Kyrie no look for Joe. Gets into the paint. Out to Royce. The one guy who can hit a 3. It's off. I jinxed it. Shit. And now, the Pelicans. Euro. Marshall. Oh, for God's sake, Joe, man. What? Mate, we haven't scored in this last quarter. I will give us a bit of a commendation for our defense, except for that possession. But the offense is atrocious in this last quarter, man. And KD, I mean, we waited till the 5-minute mark to bring him back in the first half. But in this half, we've waited 3 minutes. We've seen enough. And that's it. We have to bring KD in. And that's exactly what's happened. So Marshall makes the free throw. I just don't understand Sumner not being in the game. You're probably wondering, why do I love Sumner so much? Well, what bad has he provided this season, apart from sometimes providing rash layups? I would say that he's probably going to provide more of a rational shot selection compared to Kyrie today. Because Kyrie's been poor with it. KD, excellent change of direction. And it's going the other way. Graham plowed over by KD and another good stop by the Pels. They are switched on and alert in this last quarter thus far. So we still haven't scored in the last quarter. And I don't know where the buckets are going to come from. You have to attack the basket, though. Alvarado. Going to try sizzle Royce. Excellent by Royce! And Alvarado, typical... I don't know where he's from, but he just absolutely is reminiscent of any South American football player. Or soccer player, as Americans and Australians would say. Every single time he hits the deck, he's holding his face or pretending he took a shot. That was clearly a jump ball or tie-up. Puerto Rico. Well, I don't know if you'd call that South America, but Unsurprisingly, Alvarado is giving up so much size, so he lost the jump ball there, and now the Nets go the other way. Kyrie and KD are in. I don't want to see any shit offensive possessions here. Kyrie is trying to cook Nance. He missed it again. Kai, pass the ball. Marshall on the inside. Clacks with the block. And it's going to go in the direction of the Pels or Nets. I don't know. Excellent block by Clacks. And it went off hands at the back end there. So it's been 4 minutes without a bucket in this last quarter. And it has primarily been because we're trying to manifest something that isn't there with Kyrie. And look, the miracle is we've only conceded 5 points. If the Pelicans cooked early on, then we would have been in a lot of trouble, I would say. McCollum, excellent defense, Clacks, but Nance gets the rebound and then the turnover. So that was pretty disjointed there. It hasn't been clean this quarter. They're trying to find Warren under the basket, who scores the reverse. We identified the mismatch with Graham on Warren, and finally a bucket. So the lead is amazingly no more for the Pels, despite us playing like rotten garbage. Hayes misses the hook shot, and we're getting stops in this last quarter. That is the number one thing, and slowly, the offense will arrive, but enough of this ISO rubbish. KD shooting a 3 and missing. You've got to pass the ball, man. That's where the success came from in the third. Royce was getting looks. Clacks was getting looks. And they were not disappointing. That is nearly a travel. McCollum, kick out to Nance in the corner. Can he hit threes? Definitely not. He hits the top of the backboard and a rebound for the Nets. So KD, gotta drive it. Kick out to Kyrie. It's just KD Kyrie ball at the moment. Again a 3 for Kyrie. Finally! And Kyrie, I think he's just been waiting for a shot to fall all last quarter. And finally a 3. Kyrie could be all defensive if he just imagined everyone to be Harden. Well, far out. I mean, if we use that logic, anyone could be all defensive. We all saw how he clamped up Honey Buns last season. Well, overall, the defense this quarter has been nuts. Our offense has stunk the entire last quarter. And yet, the Pelicans have not made inroads because our own defense has been basically sensational. And we're getting it from basically everyone. Every single player that's played this last quarter has done well on the defensive end. And look, that's even including Joe Harris, people. If Joe Harris was playing shit defense, we would have conceded a hell of a lot more than 5 points, I can tell you that. Finally, Kyrie got one to go. He's shooting the ball like rubbish. TJ's been awesome off the bench, really returning to form after an off-shooting night. Royce has been good, so has Clacks. He's got to get minutes, I think, the rest of the way now. Excuse me. And Ben, he's played 29 minutes. Will he get a run at the end? I don't know if they'll go him or Warren. But I think the stage is set for a grandstand finish. I do think. But, man, it's just been defense. It has purely been defense in this second half. I mean, they were shooting poorly on the interior already, but it was the 3-point shooting 1 and the free throw shooting number 2 we needed to stop. They have only made 2 of 10 from 3 in this second half. And they've only had 5 free throws and made 2. So we've basically stopped the the source of all their scoring, and it's no coincidence we've been able to take the lead because of that. Kyrie pushes it too hard sometimes. They need to know that any play can be hot or cold. Well, it's just like he keeps pulling the trigger on shots that it's like early offense that is just chuck-ups without the ball moving even once. It's just glued to a player's hands. So, it's a dirty scrap. 100% it is. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to show your support on it and like the show. And subscribe if you're new, so you can stay notified about when I go live next, which will be in 2 days against the Heat. Another big game, but we live in the present at the moment, and we're worried about this game. There's also a link. You can do this post-game or whenever you want for the next week. There will be an awards show a week from now for the mid-season. There is a link pinned right now where you can basically put your votes in. And yeah, all responses anonymous. Won't take long. Valanciunas, that was an excellent hook shot through contact there, and I don't think he was happy about the no call. But the lead is back down to 1. Ben, Royce, Clax, KD, Kai. The original 5. Good off-ball screen by Kyrie. KD had a wide open 2. The set was excellent. The shot did not fall, and that has been a common trend for basically the whole game. So CJ on the outside. He's going to drive on Clax. The kick out for Jones, who goes down the middle. Clax with the block! And the aerial contest by KD. Royce in transition. He's not going to pull the trigger. Ben will slow things down. Kyrie on the wing. Picked up by CJ. KD now guarded by Alvarado. To the corner for Royce. Excellent off-ball screen by Ben. It was off, but we get the board. KD again. Got it! And the lead is back up to a 2-possession game with 5 or so minutes to play. Defense now, please. Alvarado on the outside. Guarded by Clax. Defender v defender. We're going to have a tie-up under the basket. And it's going to be Royce who picks up the foul. So we've got, the next foul will be in the bonus. So we've got to be a little bit more disciplined under there and deny any outlet or any avenue to the basket through that, through those means in trying to feed Valanciunas, because obviously big body on the inside. So CJ nearly lost the ball, nearly got away from him. Alvarado goes baseline, kick out to Jones, who is wide open on the 3. He's off. KD with the rebound. And now, with the lead in our hands, all we need to do is slow the play down. Get a good shot. Kyrie, I think he would feed KD in the post. You would think so. What the fuck was that? The exact time Kyrie was looking for Clax on the alley-oop attempt, Clax had already redirected his run, so a turnover off absolutely nothing. And that would have given us some very much needed breathing room, I would suspect. So the anxiety will have to remain with us a little bit longer. CJ going to try cross Clax. Step back 2 is good. And he is saucy like that. So 4 minutes to play. So it's been a very, very defensively minded last quarter. Both teams have not hit double figures in the last. KD misses the 2. The contest was excellent by Herb Jones. And now they can take the lead back or tie. That's an offensive foul. Ben has drawn those at an excellent rate in the second half. Alvarado wants a review. And Alvarado just plowed into Ben there. He just sprinted into him. And I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. But Alvarado's... Alvarado wanted the challenge. It's not going to happen. Willie Green opts to save it for a later date. And now Kyrie going to drive on Valanciunas. The contested 2 is off. Clax with the board. The dunk over Alvarado. And obviously, that was always going to end pretty badly for the Pels under the basket if there was a miss. And the lead is ours to lose. Murphy gets past. Good contest by Claxon KD. The rebound +1. What are you doing? Man! So dumb, dude. We do so well on the vertical contest there. But once again, you gotta have awareness to just crowd the interior with bodies so you don't give away the offensive board. So right now, there is an opportunity for an and one opportunity. KD's got to be stronger there. He had some form of positioning. And we've got a timeout as well. So give excuse to Clax. This guy's always, I believe you mean criticised. He's finally playing a nice season. Well, Clax is probably my best player for the game today. I'd have to say. We're gonna do a little bit of a poll. Just get the people in chat involved. Make sure to show your support. So let's get a little bit of a poll going. So yeah, that's just frustrating, man, because we had the opportunity to secure the rebound. We've had an opportunity a couple times to get that lead up to 6 or 7 even. And right now, it's always been that just a little error right at the final hurdle. You know, first it was trying to find Clax for the alley-oop, and the pass was just a lack of communication. Then it was the just then not being able to box out. You know, it's about not giving up on the play. You know, the ball was still there to be won, and unfortunately no one was there to stop Trey Murphy. And, you know, giving away a foul as well makes it even more inexcusable. So, you know, hopefully the free throw is off, but it's my best guess. Currently, you're saying that the Nets are going to win this one. 15 out of 16 of you. 94%. Are you guys seriously thinking that the Nets are going to win? I mean, I wish I had the exact same level of confidence that you had, or you have. Utah game winner. I can't even speak. Utah game winner. I don't think he's even going to be on the court. I cannot speak today. I mean, it's not even exclusive to today. You know, this is a common theme. Stuttering and not being able to speak half the time. The last quarter has been all defense. We have only scored 10 points to this point. The good thing is that the Pelicans have only scored 11 points. So, here we go. Let's get this bread, people. Let's get this bread. So it'll be a free throw. Obviously, we saw the 2+1 prior to the timeout. So whoever is hot, hand him the ball. Well, Kyrie has been awful today. I still can back him in to hit a big shot, but KD has been the guy in the second half. That said, Royce and Clax, I reckon Clax has been our most successful offensive player. We've got the starting 5 back in. So there should be no excuses on the glass now. So we have a make, and it is a 1-point game. 3 minutes to play. Do not let this game get away. Royce on the outside. 12 to shoot. Who is getting the ball here? Kyrie's going to get it here. That's a good off-ball movement. He's going to shoot a 3, and he misses. I don't know why you're still jacking up 3s when they haven't fallen all game. McCollum off the window, that's off. Gang rebounding needed. Good strip by Ben. Valanciunas had the ball in his lap. Royce shoots the 3. Got it! Royce! Killed us last game. Got us in the game this game. Please do not lose this now. You've got a 2-possession game with 2 minutes to play. To the corner for Alvarado. The response is no good. That's an over-the-back foul. And it will be Nets ball. And my goodness, Royce last game was the bane of my existence watching him play. But this game, it's been an excellent fight back. If he killed us off last game, he's absolutely keeping us alive this game. And look, underrated part of that whole sequence was Ben stripping Valanciunas of the ball. Because if Valanciunas even got that above shoulder height, we're not stopping him from putting it back up and in. But Ben, excellent there. He's going to go to the bench now, and Warren's going to come back in for offensive purposes. Kyrie is going to get the ball past half court, and we are in the final 2 minutes. KD going to receive it, top of the key. He faces up Marshall. Shoots the 2. It's off. Rebound Valanciunas. Here we go. 4-point game. That would have been a big shot. CJ going to drive on Warren. And that's too easy. It's going to be a foul. And I thought that CJ had him beat, but turns out apparently not. And he was thereabouts. It's going to be 2 shots for CJ. We need to close this game. Ben and Clax, good game. Same with Royce. Well, bit puzzling sending Ben to the bench after that excellent defensive play. CJ misses again. And they haven't had as many opportunities from the line in the second half. And when they have gone there, they have not capitalized. And that could be killer. CJ, I thought he was a better free throw shooter. 81% in his career. He is 3 of 6 tonight. CJ makes both. Or 1 of 2. Clax is going to have to receive the ball off the inbounds, and now Kyrie will retrieve it. So, 1:38 to play, 1 possession game on national TV. Let's see who steps up in the spotlight. KD's going to get it here. On the outside, we've got 7 to shoot. KD going to drive on Herb Jones. He lost the ball. He got it back. Kyrie going to have to shoot. 1! Got it! Lead is 5. And that was absolutely scrappy, but we somehow made it work. CJ, Herb Jones, good take, and scores for 2 with 1:06 to play. So KD going to bring it up with... Nope, Kyrie's going to bring it up with 1 minute to play. You cannot afford to turn the ball over. It's a 3-point game. Kyrie, KD, and the crew closing this game out. KD. It's a very similar action. Kyrie from way downtown! Kyrie! He has not made shots all day, but I said about 5 or so minutes ago, Kyrie, despite being garbage, I back him in to hit a big shot. And right there is the epitome of a big shot. So on the last possession that Kyrie scored, KD lost the ball midair while going up. Somehow was able to tap it to Kyrie. And then Kyrie, all game we've been saying, take it to the rack. And Kyrie gets to that spot in the restricted area about 10 feet away. And gets it to go. And then that 3-pointer from way downtown. Probably closer to the logo than the 3-point stripe. Or the 3-point line. This guy is unreal when the shots actually fall. So, we haven't led by more than I reckon 4 until now. So, Kyrie can, this is just the blessing in disguise. Kyrie and KD can give you so much hope by, providing bad shooting nights and the opposition thinks we're in the clear. We've been able to fight them off. And then they just knocked down some big shots to overcome that and basically offset the bad shooting night altogether. All right, 43 and a half. And it's a 2-possession game. They need 2 threes. CJ going to drive. Euro. And it's an easy 2. Well, not an easy 2, but they didn't need a lot of time to elapse. And they're not fouling, which is interesting. KD is going to hold things up, and now Kyrie. I don't know why they're not fouling. You know, it's going to be down to 15 seconds to play if we use up the whole, allocation. And it's a 2-possession game. Kyrie again! Oh my god, it's off! Clax! It's going to be an excellent play by Clax. He earns the loose ball foul. Herb Jones was trying to box him out. And even if Clax did not get the foul his way, we were going to have the ball anyway. So Kyrie, as much as he is human, Clax, an excellent job. And we should be okay with 14.6. We're going to have the ball. It's also a 2-possession game. And it could have potentially opened the door if we couldn't get that rebound. But he's a mean man, Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton is ridiculous, bro. He is ridiculous. He is my undisputed player of the game today. Undisputed. He has been instrumental in basically every single way. Whew. Defensively, offensively, you're seeing right there, just winning, extra possessions for our team. He's been on the turf numerous times, fighting for it. That time, obviously, he wasn't on the floor, and that makes it look less impressive, but I mean, given the situation, he needed to win that rebound, and he has done us proud. So we've got 14 seconds to outlast, and we should be okay. Nick is an all-star. Well, unfortunately, there's quite a few people in the front court that deserve a similar accolade, but today, I mean, I reckon he's just about our best player. KD is obviously up there. He always is, but we've got to get the ball inbounded first and foremost. Alvarado, typical South American behaviors on the pitch. Alvarado's in the shits, man. I'm not stereotyping South Americans. I'm just saying South American athletes, generally speaking, send things over the top. Way over the top. He just gives me such vibes of every single South American player in the Premier League. Every single time, man. So that's like the 4th time he has said I got hit, but over-exaggerated it to the point of it being a joke. So 12.8 to play in the game. And what's going on here? Oh, okay. So Alvarado did take a shot to the face. Fair enough. Fair enough. They actually should have challenged that. I'll give him that, actually, Alvarado. If I got slapped in the face, I would have tried to, get the referee's attention. If it, put us in a position to potentially get back into and or win the game. He's always moving and talking. He is an absolute pest, Alvarado, and I will give him credit because he is damn good at what he does. He annoys me as much as he annoys every single team that he comes up against. Refs repaying us from yesterday. Well, granted, I think that is the reason why you don't overreact on shit that isn't there, because when there is something there, then you open yourself up to the possibility that they think you're faking it then as well. So free throws are converted by Kyrie. And if we saw the Bucks-Toronto game, if that's anything to go off, the game is not over yet. In case you don't know, for context, the Raptors were down 16 in the last 2 minutes. and somehow managed to send the game to overtime. Mysteriously, to everyone's surprise. But look, once again, as I've said in weeks gone by, in our win streak, we found ways to win no matter how we did it. This last quarter was one of the scrappiest last quarters I've seen in a long time. And given the players that we have, it's usually been a very smooth game style. Today it hasn't been like that, but we've had players who are willing to get, dirty if it benefits the team, getting offensive rebounds, scrapping for offensive rebounds, getting blocks. All those little things, those intangible things that you don't see on the box score. You may see a steal, but you don't know how that steal was gathered. Here we go. So no timeouts left. They're looking for your boy, Trey Murphy, and Royce read it like a book, and that is going to be it. That caps off a sensational last quarter, which was primarily driven by defense. Give this team a round of applause. They deserve every single bit of credit. I will also give the Pelicans an equal level of credit because they did not make things easy at all. Even though Kyrie went on this cold streak, I'm glad that we have a point guard that continues to not lose confidence. Because if he did, then we wouldn't have some of these fourth quarter performances. Well, that's the thing. We said earlier in the stream that you can't dwell on mistakes because otherwise it severely impacts your play. And fair bloody play. The players... I'm going to give credit to Royce as well. Because we know how good Clax was, but as much... I'll give KD... Actually, no. This is my 3 picks for player of the game. 1 is Clax, 2 is KD, 3 is Royce. And an honourable mention to Ben. So, yeah. Unbelievably good game. Let's have a look at the box score. And then we'll close things out. And we will obviously move forward to the next game against Miami, which we will also be tuning in for. Those exiting now, make sure to subscribe if you're new and want to stay notified, and also like the show on your way out. But let's have a look. TJ Warren did great too. Yep, another honourable mention to him. Another good bounce back game by him as well. Let's have a look. And you will see, that, believe it or not, is the Pelicans' shooting splits. At halftime, you would have called me crazy if I said that we could, allow their shooting to drop off that drastically. And we still did. They only had 2 3-pointers in the second half after going 60% on 17 attempts. Their shooting was sub 40%, and credit to us for, absolutely putting them on clamps. Alvarado was pretty good, especially in the first half, but his shooting deteriorated much like the rest of the team. Najee Marshall was awesome for them with 23, and CJ in the third quarter was cooking. We held Valanciunas pretty well. I didn't think it was going to be, I thought it was going to be more challenging to stop Valanciunas, or I thought that we didn't have as much of a chance, but we so clearly did. Clax really held his own excellently well there. And our shooting, look, the shooting wasn't pretty. The 3-pointers were good to see. That's good shooting numbers from 3. Seth Curry with 8 and Warren with 15 off the bench. But this is what's really doing it for me, right? KD and Kyrie. Shooter combined 16 of 48. And that is... I've never seen a game this season, or I haven't seen too many games where it's that lopsided for them in comparison to our role players in terms of getting shots up. But it's so welcoming when they can shoot 48 shots, shoot it at 33%, and we still win. KD at 33, he really dried up in the back end of this game. He could not knock down a shot for his life. And Kyrie, well, despite him only having 9 points, at 3-quarter time, scores more than half in the last quarter. And 2 shots were so instrumental in getting the victory and holding them off. But obviously, I'm going to say the number one thing for me today was defense, and that is why, despite only having 9 points and 9 boards, the box score wouldn't suggest it. Clax is my player of the game. And he didn't have a point at halftime either. And him and Royce only had 3 points between them. Royce hit some big shots in the second half. 4 threes, excellent response. KD was god-awful on the interior. 5 of 19 inside the 3-point line. And usually it's been a bit inverted. He shoots well with the 2 and bad with the 3. So, yeah. Ben, excellent, especially in the last quarter, winning a couple, vital 50-50s for our team in terms of winning loose balls and getting some illegal screens, or drawing some illegal screens, which was awesome. I thought Ben was going to clamp CJ up like he did against Mitchell. Well, I think Ben did things that probably go underappreciated, when it comes to watching a game of basketball, but I think he was awesome today. But overall, if we look at the extended, you will see that, in terms of free throws, we had 19 of 20. But if you look at the Pels, they were 20 of 25, only 8 free throw attempts. So hard to say that word after speaking for 2.5 hours. They only had 8 shots, or free throws, in the second half, and only made 3 of them. So that was also pivotal. We stopped being undisciplined in that department, and that probably coincided with, giving more minutes to the starters who were evidently playing better, and the stats would suggest exactly that. We forced 15 turnovers, which is awesome as well, and only committed 12 of our own. That was also probably a vital cog in the victory, or vital piece to our victory. You can see, when I talk defense, I mean defense was the big thing today, and you can see the box score here. Nearly every single player that got meaningful minutes had a steal or a block, and usually that is my gauge as to whether or not we were locked in. You see a steal by Curry, steal by Warren, a steal by Warren, a block by Joe, and then you go up. Clax had 5 blocks and was a man mountain on the interior. He was unbelievable. And that is the main reason why I give him player of the game. Doing the little things in fighting for loose balls and, that crucial loose ball foul that he got to go his way at the very end to give us another crack at it. Those little things really epitomized his game today. 1 steal, 5 blocks. Royce with 2 steals, 2 blocks. KD with 2 blocks. And then he got 3 steals for Ben as well. So, that capped off a really hard-fought, well-earned victory. As I said, it wasn't going to be easy against this Pelicans team. I flagged it at the very beginning. I knew it was coming. But look, it was an excellent job. It was a show of resilience today. And we constantly speak about the importance of being able to, of being able to fight through adversity in these moments where things aren't going easy for you. Today, KD and Kyrie had to, overcome rough shooting nights, and other players had to step up in that void. We had to count on defense over offense, where, some other games offenses come really easily and defense is not. So, overall, it's an excellent win. It's a very character-filled win, if that makes any sense. A lot of character shown, I should say. I literally can't speak anymore. Share your thoughts about the game in the chat as well, if you have any other things to say. Because I just need a little bit of a break with my voice. the next two games for the Nets is going to be hard. Do you think they can beat the Heat and Boston? Um, I think once again they are going to be two games where defense, for us, is going to be imperative because of the defense that the Heat and Boston will, throw at us. Because, in years gone by, the Heat and Boston have employed zones when, trying to, cope with and contain KD and Kyrie, and it has worked. So I'm interested to see if KD and Kyrie are able to, shake these, those past demons off, those past mental demons off, and despite, all the enforcements that the Heat and Boston throw at us, I hope we're able to, just be the better team on offense. But it's going to start with defense, much like today, where, shots weren't very easy. They were pretty hard to come by. And we had to rely on defense to, get out the woods. If we talk about, the last quarter, we only scored 20 points. And usually in games gone by, I feel like that would be our downfall. We'd get outscored 33-20. And that would be, our downfall. But today, we only conceded, 17 points in the last quarter. So to hold them to that in the last quarter after conceding 64 in the first half, I mean, we needed a pep talk at halftime. And this second half that we displayed today is everything I hoped it would be against Chicago because of, all the, the abysmal defense we played to start that game as well. So overall, we did well to, basically learn from what we did wrong in the second half, and that accountability once again by Jacques Vaughn plays into that so much. But yeah, only 38 points conceded in that, second half, opposed to our 55. So we thoroughly outplayed them in the second half. We need to heavily improve for Boston unless they play like they did against OKC. Well, I don't think they're going to concede 150. I think their defense was atrocious in that game. I think that's the only feasible explanation because, they're not going to concede 150 against us. If we were going off the logic that Boston are going to play the same defense that they did against OKC, well, they may concede 180 on us. But overall, good vibes. Good vibes only. Okay, so that'll do it. I am exhausted from this game. It was, both mentally and physically taxing on my voice and my anxiety levels. That'll do it. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Support once again much appreciated. And make sure to like the stream on your way out. Subscribe if you're new so you're notified of when I go live next. And also, if you got a spare 5 minutes, make sure to do the mid-season awards form. Just click on that right now and just fill it up, or fill it out. Yeah, we'll have the little fan voted awards show for the mid-season. In basically a week's time. This time next week. So thank you for tuning in, everyone. Indeed, the new win streak hopefully will start now. But yeah, that'll do it from me. So have a good one, everyone. We will see you around. We'll see you in a couple of days when the Nets take on the Heat. Have a good one. Peace out.